States. Patel said this was the culmination of a partnership between Mexico, the United States, and Canada.
We are announcing a capture of another FBI's most wanted top 10 fugitive, Ryan Wedding. That makes 6 top 10 FBI captures in 1 year alone.
In December, there were signals law enforcement was closing in. The FBI announced multiple search warrants in Mexico led to the seizure of $40 million worth of motorcycles believed to belong to Wedding. Alicia Acuna, Fox News.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the program. It is February 6th. The Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV. Show producer Fred Cruz, spinning like 50 plates right now. God bless you, Freddie. I got the best producer in News Talk Radio. I know Texas News Talk, Freddie's the best. And we start the program. We're doing the online thing, right? You're good, right, Freddie? Sometimes that silly computer, the squirrel is, still spinning. No, it's working right now. So 710 KURV. What did you say, Freddie? Okay, 710 KURV, YouTube, and Facebook Live. Program note real quick. RadiothonRGV.com, RadiothonRGV.com. That is the website. It is up and running. If you would like to make a generous donation to our Kids Cancer Clinic, Vanny Cook. Radiothon is coming up on the 17th of February. All day long, 7 o'clock in the morning, Lord willing, 7 a.m. to about 5 p.m. We'll be opening up phone lines and pointing you to the website that I'm pointing you right now, and featuring, talking with a bunch of our local kids or babies that are fighting cancer here in the Valley, staying in the Valley at Vanny Cook, our Kids Cancer Clinic. The Radiothon is on on Tuesday, February 17th. Hope you can join us. And RadiothonRGV.com is the website to make a donation. Every dollar, every penny you give. I can't say pennies anymore, right? Because we don't have pennies. Yeah, every nickel, dime, all that you give is for life-saving medicines and treatment at Vanny Cook or Kids Cancer Clinic of the RGV. And coming up in just a little bit, we have the director of our DHR Health Transplant Institute. It was a banner year for them last year. They hit it out of the park. It was a grand slam. They crossed the century mark, crossed 100 plus transplants, kidney transplants at DHR. We'll take a look at that. And kidney transplants, who qualifies, all those things coming up in just a few minutes. We start this hour of the program with friends, family in the studio. Bill Martin, a dear friend, family of mine. Cancer survivor, by the way, as well. And Pastor Bob Kirby, first time I see him, Foundations Methodist Church in downtown McAllen, right, Pastor? Mm-hmm. That's where you're at. The reason they're here right now is, as I mentioned a few days back, and I said this at the Cameron County GOP dinner, the Lincoln Reagan dinner on Tuesday night. When I was blessed to volunteer as chairman of the GOP back in 2014 to 2018, one of the first words that Hollis Rutledge said to me, Serge, there are two kind of people in the party. One is sweat equity. That's you, son, because I know you don't have Rush Limbaugh dollars. Well, not yet. Sweat equity, the workers, the volunteers, the soldiers. Sweat equity, and the equity side, those are who fund campaigns and fund the political movement in the defense of liberty, and this on the Republican side. And I mentioned to folks there at the dinner that within the past several days, the Lord has decided to call home two giants in the local effort in defense of liberty. Dr. Lawrence Gelman, and I'll repeat this again, he is a major force. Initially, in the first few days when I was volunteering as chairman, Dr. Lawrence Gelman, he opened up his checkbook. I told him the game plan. It's District 41 for Texas, Doc. It's Congress 15, Doc. He said, what do you need? Let's open up the permanent HQ for the GOP in Hidalgo County. That was Dr. Gelman. And he was so generous in that effort. Robert Bonds, my brother, my friend, the Lord called him home as well just a few days back. Robert Bonds was the sweat equity. Robert Bonds was a man that put pride aside. He was completely unselfish, dedicated, stalwart. He was unapologetic in his defense of liberty and America. He loved our country. He was always there. He was loyal, faithful, and an example. I say one of the ultimate examples of volunteers and patriots, and that's just on the political side, people. Robert Bonds, I didn't go to all the meetings, so I can't tell you he missed any of it. I know he was always at all these meetings. Anything, whatever the women groups and young groups and precinct chairs, he was always there setting an example. And as we talked off air, even when he ran and lost to be chairman of the GOP, he was there for the winner. Let's go. We got to get work done down here. May God bless his family. I used to refer to Robert Bonds as Bonds, Robert Bonds, his wife, his precious wife, as the Bond girl. Lord called him home a few days back, and in the studio, Pastor Bob Kirby at the church that Robert attended, and Bill Martin, my friend, in the studio. Bill, I want to open up the microphone to you real quick. Robert Bonds, for you personally, I know you're here for him, his family as well.
Yes, I'm here for him, for Mary Jo. Robert was just an ever-present person at our church. That's where I knew him most, but I also shot clays with him a few times. I knew him from the GOP. I knew him in several aspects, but where I knew him best was at church. He was the most consistent servant within that church.
I can just imagine, man.
Just every aspect, everything, anything that was needed, he stepped up joyfully and did with excellence. And that was his really a consistent thing in his life. If he did something, he did it with excellence.
Yeah.
He served his country for 23 years, went in and enlisted, retired major, went in with a high school diploma, left with a bachelor's and 2 masters.
Wow, that I didn't know. It's almost as if the Lord is saying, okay, I'm taking 2 excellent servants, Dr. Gelman one, and Robert Bonds on the other. Everybody step up. You all need to step up in ministry, in church, in service, and in volunteerism. You need to step up. Robert Bonds was the, I think, poster child, dictionary, book, picture example of what a servant is Robert
And he
Bonds.
served his wife. He served his church. He served his community.
Amen.
I think the concept of volunteerism has been slipping in our country. We need lots of great examples that, like Robert said.
Yeah. If we had 1,000 of him, I think things would just be fine in our nation. Pastor Bob Kirby, tell me a bit about the church you're at here in downtown McAllen, Foundations Methodist Church, sir.
Foundations Methodist Church has been around for about 2.5 years now. And my wife and I got a call. We thought we were done. We were living in our retirement home up on the Delaware coast, and they wanted to talk. And we had a Zoom meeting with the leadership team, of which Robert and Mary Jo Bonds were a part. And we found ourselves down here for 2 days in October of 2024. And this young man, Bill, was one of the ones to show us around, as well as Robert and Mary Jo and numerous others. And we fell in love with McAllen, the people, the challenge, the climate. And 6 weeks later, I was in the pulpit down here, and we had moved. And Foundations is part of the Global Methodist Church. Foundations Methodist Church is part of the Rio Grande district here. And we meet at 700 North Main Street. I believe the building officially is the Old Church Winery. It's owned by the Chamber of Commerce. So it fits in nicely with communion, even though we use grape juice. But
what a nice place. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's your holding church service at the winery. History, a deep history for McAllen. Wow, that's fascinating. And what times on Sunday?
We're there at 11 o'clock each Sunday morning. We have communion every Sunday. have a great group of people. And I was going to say you'd find Robert Bonds out on the front porch welcoming everybody as they come in the door.
I wouldn't expect any less, Robert. My goodness. So we have a service. You have a service scheduled near future. We all of y'all who knew Robert Bonds were blessed by his ministry in all aspects, whatever he did for our community. So tell me about that service that's coming up for Robert.
Well, we're looking at Saturday, the 14th,
Okay.
Ironically, Valentine's Day, in terms of love and the church. And Mary Jo has chosen that day and 3 o'clock in the afternoon to have a memorial service for Robert. And she said, I don't care if there's standing room only. We want to have it at Foundations there on Main Street. And we just got confirmation on the way over here in the truck. Bill doesn't even know this, that it is available. And so we'll be there on Saturday afternoon for the memorial service at 3 o'clock.
Valentine's Day, the 14th, remembering the life, the contributions, the love, the Herculean efforts of Robert Bonds in every, whether it's Christian ministry, whether it's advocacy for the community, politics, serving our nation. Robert Bonds was a treasure, and the Lord decided to call him home. And we remember his life on the 14th, Valentine's Day, there at the old winery in McAllen, where Foundations Methodist Church is meeting every Sunday. They're meeting that Saturday. Do you know what time, Pastor Muscle Minnows?
It'll be 3 o'clock.
3 p.m.
Saturday, the 14th.
The 14th.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to have to bring you back. And Robert, the last time I saw him was at the Luby's just a few days ago in North McAllen. And he said, I want you to meet my pastor. I want you to talk about the church. There's things that we're doing. And I want you to come back and tell me about different programs, whatever it is that you and Robert agreed to share on the radio. Please come back and see me. Maybe sometime next week we can remind folks again about the memorial service.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the heads up on the memorial. Thank you for giving us an opportunity again to mention Robert and talk about his life and example to all of us. And Lord willing, we'll see you next week, Pastor.
Thanks for having us.
Right. Thank you for
Appreciate
stopping by.
Appreciate the invitation.
Ready, let's pay some bills, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about our friends at DHR Health, the Transplant Institute. It was a banner year for them last year, crossing the century mark on transplants, and we'll flesh out all that medical stuff next. The Sergio Show on 710 KURV, made possible this hour by South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank.
Coming up after the Sergio Show, stay tuned for the Dana Les Show starting at 11, followed by the Brian Kilmeade Show at 2 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Potterme app.
Illegal aliens engaged